Yeah, he's live in the studio now, Mr. Popular, Braith Anasta.
Mr. Popular.
Yeah,
Our man.
everyone loves you. Every ex-player loves you. Fans,
Not so much.
No,
That's not a bad thing.
they do. The fans, mate.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
No, the fans are great. They're the sorts of guys. They hammer you online.
No,
and then
the fans love Braith because he tells it how it is.
The fans do love you, Braith. Everyone loves you. The reason you're in here, we love Fridays, right? Our favourite day,
yes.
bar none, because of you, mainly because of you.
Thanks, Bowie. I don't believe you, but it's okay.
No, it is huge
You
game.
walk out the studio.
He's talking some
No,
rubbish here.
I do like Braith. Huge game tonight, right? Well, there's two good big games, but the Roosters Dogs is, mate, the Dogs obviously, they were on one last week and they've only lost, one game this year?
Yep.
Roosters are nearly $3.
It's the competition is so open. Like I said it last week when I was on Friday. You could almost go either way with every game, and this is another one of them. The Dogs obviously should be favourites because they're great. They're coming first. That comeback win against Canberra was incredible. Stephen Crichton's been a superstar. I mean, doesn't get much better than him. But the Roosters are in form. You know, they're going for 3 wins in a row,
Roosters,
I think.
Mate, Roosters are strong.
Yeah.
Roosters are strong.
They can upset. I'm going to tip the Dogs, but they can upset the Dogs. Do you guys agree?
I reckon the
100%.
Roosters play better against the bigger sides, the better sides. And where do you sit in this one, Braith? Like, what are you thinking? Like,
You played for both, right?
Yeah, I
You
did.
played for both, and they've both
You've
got
done
a
your
proud-
research, bro.
I have.
It's the Braith Anasta Cup.
It's a Braith Anasta Cup Shield.
Yes.
Shield. The Shield.
Don't ask me.
No,
who
I
I'm
won't. But it is. It's a huge game, and it's a good test for the Dogs.
It
right?
is.
Because the Dogs have been fantastic. They had a slip up, obviously, against the Broncos. But people are sleeping on the Roosters at the moment. They like it like that. Robbo likes it when it's quiet there. They've had all the stuff with Brandon Smith, but they can beat anyone, the Roosters.
They can. They haven't. No one's really given them a chance. Robbo's, he's done a great job to get them back on track. The young halves have been great. Savala's really turned them around with his kicking game. Yeah, and his defence is awesome. They got Sam Walker coming back after around 15. They got another bye in a couple of weeks, but they got some tough games. So this is a big one for them. I think they got the Sharks and another team in the top 4 or close to it over the next sort of month. So it's a critical time for them. The Bulldogs have set their season up. Their defence is incredible. They can win the competition. About a month ago, I still had a question mark, but their attack continues to evolve, and that's a big thing for them because their defence has been really good for a long time. But their ability to score points now, their resilience, they're a brotherhood there. You can see it. They are a brotherhood, and that's what you need to win competitions. And their fans are just going mad, which is awesome for Canterbury. And Serrato's a genius. I mean, what he's been able to do there, how he's turned that club around with Gus is phenomenal, really.
Braith, I've got a question for you. Back to the Roosters. You said don't sleep on them. And they're a side that I'm really worried about, as in the market. Look, they've let Smith go early.
Yep.
Dominic Young, there's that talk that he might go if he finds a club. Are they going to get someone, do you reckon, before June 30? Do you reckon they're going to make a play at anyone?
I spoke to Nick Politis about it because there's all that talk about DCE.
Yeah.
He hasn't said that he signed, but he pretty much has. It's kind of like, has he signed and he just giggles on the other end of the phone.
Yeah.
So you'd have to say he's there, right? But the big thing for them is, Toya and those guys, White, that they want to re-sign the ones that have been playing great the last 3 or 4 weeks, because everyone's got to realise Perth come in 27, PNG in 28. If you don't lock your players up now, they're going to get paid double or close to it. So these sort of guys will be going for 200 or 300 more because you're going to have those two teams fighting over them. They're going to be off contract at the best time for the player, but not the club. So it's going to be feeding season. So the Roosters are very professional in that way. So Nick's always been that way. So they get ahead of the game. And other clubs have got to do the same. You'll see it with Melbourne, and all these teams will be trying to lock their players up before these two new teams are allowed to buy players, because it's going to be crazy.
Broncos. Okay, the Broncos. Out of sight, out of mind here, right, in Sydney, because we've got enough happening at the Sydney clubs. What is happening up there? Michael Maguire, they're like, he is the man for the job. He trains them hard. He gets culture good, and now he's too hard for them. What's happening?
Well, last year the players were complaining that Kevy was too soft, and there was a lot of rumours coming out about Kevy, and now they're complaining that that Madge is too hard. So if you give too much power to the players, you're in trouble as a club, right?
Mate. It's like your kids.
It
Like
is.
your kids pick.
It's right. You need to. They need to know. No, they need to be told no and accepted. And I think it's like I compare it to the Bulldogs situation again, because they're going so well. You got to go a few steps backwards to go forwards. Madge has come into a team that have a soft underbelly, that aren't resilient, aren't tough, don't grind out games, and he's trying to instill that. They're not buying in, obviously. We can see that, but you got to take a few hits, and You look at Serraldo and Gus, and they got rid of players, bought players that they wanted to fit into their system and their style, and look where they are now. And I mean, when Serraldo took over, everyone was critical of him and the Dogs because they went backwards. But now they're thriving. It's similar up there. I mean, they're complaining. The players were complaining about going on a boat in the Sydney Harbour, not a party.
So the players complained about
Best
it.
city in the world.
This is the thing, right? Everyone thinks it was, Buzz wrote the story, but he had mail from managers and players. So they were saying we didn't have our usual routine. We didn't have our barbecue after our captain's run. But Madge actually took them on a boat and got Tom Slingsby, who, whether you
Motivational, yes.
He's a gold medal winner and he's one of the best sale GPs, the captain of the Australian team. So he's very experienced. Madge was trying to mix it up, and still they just had there was an excuse after the game. That's why they lost to South because they went on a boat. Like, come on.
So what are we hearing from behind the scenes, bro? Are they going to back Madge or are they going to back the players? Because you look at their roster with the players. Clubs would die to have at least a quarter of what they've got on their salary cap.
Yeah, but they had this roster last year.
Yeah.
So it's you can't blame Madge. A lot of people are jumping on Madge because they didn't think he was the right signing in the first place. So and that's fair enough because he needs to prove himself. But they have to stick with him.
Oh yeah,
and he needs to make some tough calls. And they need to change the culture up there. They haven't won a comp in 19 years. Wow. They've got the whole of Queensland to pick their players. They've still got Reece Walsh, Ezra Mam, Carrigan, Haas. They have the pick of the crop, and they still can't get it done. So you've got to look in your own backyard, and that's where the Broncos are at now.
I know Adam Reynolds, right? He was too old to play at Souths, right? And he's played
25 years. That was about 20 years ago.
He's played 25 more years.
What a player!
What a player! And look, he controls that team, right? He kicks teams to death. We all know how good he is. Isn't it crazy when you hear, yep, they're going to sign Adam Reynolds? It feels like everyone's on 800 at Brisbane.
Yeah.
But how do they? Firstly, do you think they keep him?
I think they should, yeah. He loves it up there. He's not the problem. Like you look at the team and they're trying to score off play 1 and 2, going over the sideline, trying to come up with the hero play. And Renault's getting frustrated. You can see he's trying to get to certain points on the field to execute certain plays. And you can see the frustration on him. When they do what he wants them to do, they play great and he's normally man of the match and they win, right? But at the moment, they're not. You've got to re-sign him. If anything, this is probably a big call, but I think Hunt was a bad buy. If you look at how he's playing at the Dragons and they've got him up there, now they're in a situation where really you look to lose one of them. You got Ezra Mam. You probably got to look onto the open market to get some youth and exuberance. And you got to stick with Reynolds. I'd stick with Reynolds and probably. Well, they can't get. How long did Hunt sign for? Was it 2 or 3 years?
I think, but that's a salary cap issue too. Because would you rather have Hunt or Reynolds? I'm going Reynolds every day of the week because he steers you around. Ben's a great individual brilliance player, but he can't really set up for a game.
Ben's been a great player his whole career, and I have the utmost respect for him.
Yeah, so do I.
And he still is a great player, but he's at the end now. I think he's reached his ceiling.
Yep.
And to buy a guy like him, I think it was. Kind of like.
Do you think it was panic because Ezra had the suspension?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And I know they were looking for halves at the time, and I don't blame them for buying Ben because he's been in Brisbane, he's a Queenslander, all that. But I don't think it's quite worked out the way they wanted to.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much for your time, mate. You're a busy man.
Love you guys.
We love you. See you on Fox League, Sunday Ticket, stream it, watch it, do all that.
It's all on, bro.
You look good if you had a bit of work done.
Bit of work done?
Yeah, a little bit.
What do you mean?
No, you just look really
like
nice.
a nose job or something like that?
No, Braith, Bo always talks about it. He goes,
I think your eyebrows have been plucked.
He goes, how does Braith look so good?
I
think he's jealous of you.
I look after myself.
Have you had Botox? You've got lovely skin.
No, you haven't done it. Don't say anything here that implicates you. But you do.
It's the European skin.
Yeah.
When he goes in the sun, he looks like he's been a solarian.
I know. I do cop it. Everyone gives it to me. He's like fake tan, this, that, the other.
Yeah. Hey,
veneers. I've got veneers, Bo.
No, I was joking, mate. But enjoy Bali tomorrow.